everyone, we're from Group 2 or Pom Pom Girls, and today we will present about maritime health issue. This topic is very important because health problems at sea affect not only seafarers but also coastal and island communities. So today's topic we will begin with disease on ships and ports. The first one, we got COVID-19. So COVID-19 outbreaks on cruise ships became a serious global issue. One example is the Diamond Princess ship in 2020 where more than 700 people were infected. The close quarters and shared facilities made the virus spread quickly. The second one is tuberculosis, or we say it as a TB. TB is also common among seafarers due to long trips, poor ventilation, and limited medical checks. And the last one, we must know and we must remember that diseases can spread through the port contact, such as workers exchanging goods with infected crews. And as we know, ports are international entry points, so health checks are essential.
Okay, now let's talk about access to healthcare in remote maritime areas. Many island communities in Indonesia, including around Tanjung Pinang, Pulau Mantang, Pulau Dompak, and many others, struggle with limited medical facilities. Sometimes the nearest hospital is several hours or even days away by boat. This delay can be dangerous, especially for emergencies like stroke, heart attack, childbirth, or even infection. So, one potential solution is using telemedicine. With the help of internet access and mobile technology, doctors from cities can give advice or check on patients in remote areas. This has helped improve access, especially for COVID-19 pandemic.
Working at sea is not only physically demanding but also risky. Seafarers often work long hours with little sleep, which increase the chance of accident. Mental health is another issue. Being far from home for months can cause stress, loneliness, and even depression. Sadly, mental health support is still very limited on many ships. Physical injuries also happen often. For example, falling on slippery decks, getting hit by equipment, or accident during storms. Better safety training and regular health monitoring are needed to reduce this risk.
Next, let's discuss about maritime medical regulations and standards. So, the International Maritime Organization or IMO and the Maritime Labour Convention or MLC both have health standards for people working at sea. For example, the MLC says that every ship must have clean living conditions, first aid supplies, and access to medical care. It also ensures seafarers have the right to medical leave and insurance. However, these regulations are not always followed, especially on small private ships. Government must monitor and enforce these rules to protect maritime workers.
Now, let's move to the last issue, environmental health. Water pollution from ships, oil spills, and port which can seriously affect coastal communities. Polluted water causes skin infection, diarrhea, and even long-term illness. Also, marine toxins like mercury and microplastic have entered the food chain through fish and seafood. This toxin may cause cancer or damage the nervous system if consumed regularly. We need better waste management and strict rules for marine industries to protect both ocean life and human health.
To conclude, maritime health issues include disease, lack of access to care, occupational hazard, weak regulation, and environmental risks. This problem may seem far from us, but they affect thousands of lives, especially in coastal and island regions like Tanjung Pinang. As a future professional and global citizen, we must care about health and sea, not just on land.